Top to morning, laddies. My name is Shannon. Welcome to the new What If video. Or should I say reboot of a old video that I did probably a couple years ago. So, in this video is called What If I Was in Seven Deadly Sins. So, and I'm thinking about doing a new one, so shortly after. So, now, my character is Jazz. Like in J-A. Easy. So, that's what my character's name. And he, or should I say Chaos. That's what his name is. So, his actual name would be Chaos Thing. So, he ends up, or that's my character's. So, yeah. He was the father to everyone, like hands, mortals, and everything. But when he died, he got reincarnated as the Ten Commandments and then he during or like before the war, Holy War. Then after that, or during that, he had like two people fall in love with him. Her and her. So they cared about him. So, yeah, and yeah, they care about each other. So, yeah. And he is the younger brother to Zeldris and Meliodas. But it's just, that was just so weird. So, then, one of the goddesses, specifically him and the little guy, or I forget the other one, because he was powerful enough, so he cancels the forbidden spell by using his voice. As he this race couldn't believe that the forbidden spells doesn't even work on him. As, yeah, that's how powerful he is. Sorry about that. So, then he decides to think, if we had him on our side, then of course, Elizabeth, or Bloody Elizabeth, was she knows that the Ten Commandment chaos was, of course, actually, yeah, Ten Commandment, or, sorry, my own brain is like, so, Gothers, wait, or actually, the Gothers was a really good friend with him, so, so he switched two people as his body was like he's itching his head. Like, what's going on? As his body's been transformed from being a demon thing in Humanus, and then him being that, yes. Or actually, switched to only one. So, they chose him. So, and I'm actually gonna put both the him and him as two separate entities. So, no confusion there. So, now, then after the Holy War, he became a holy knight, and he actually did one thing. He used a magic spell. That even to, or he actually told, where is he? Give me a moment. So, basically, he sealed former Grand Master Zartros, or whatever his name is. Okay, so yeah, so in secret. So even Gil Thunder doesn't even know that his father been like copied and the original got sealed away. So then he so then him and him, it didn't cause any suspicions. So both of them are like, okay. Okay, so and who's the one that fall in love with him? There's actually two people. One is her, and the other is her. So yeah, they and in this what if he didn't go to, or she didn't like in love with Gil Thunder, but she loved Holy Knight Chaos. So yeah, and then time skip to like battling against him as he, when he looked and he saw his friend Elizabeth that he met 300 or like during the Holy War thing. Yeah, basically he is like couldn't believe or actually let's jump back a little bit more. So their mission, or his mission, was to eradicate the entire like vampires or remaining ones. So he decides, okay, as he breathes in and out, as he thinks, as who's the one that falls in love with him? None other than her. He has this aura for playing those girls. So yeah. Next, Hank and Les, he remembers that when he was a or he said to them, "I'll seal 2 people of my choice. I chose," of course, he says her and her. So, as they both, like, she actually knew him when he was just calling 10 Commandment chaos. Or, yeah. And, yeah. So, then he uses his power or to seal them both inside of his own body. And yeah, he says, as he turns and looks, as he tells them, "Forgive me about this, okay?" As he uses his power, and he obliterated the rest of the vampires. Members with that much power that he had, it was crazy. You know how crazy it is? It's so crazy. So now, when he went with like Jiro, or like now it's similar in canon, but he meets his oldest brother. And so, yeah. As his brother always calls him Chaos, no matter if he's like Ten Commandments, one of the four archangels, or the Holy Knight. As they're like, huh, you still remember me by those, or by that name. As he remembers that too. So as like, because he was holding him or like, hang on, how did you get here so fast? I took a fast lane. So now let's continue our fight. As he uses his power, as he became like that, or he grew like those wings, as he uses his power, and like he absolutely annihilated, him. He actually did one thing. He actually sealed the internal darkness thing into his pocket universe so that no one can access it. So they're like, okay, yeah. So now it's because with that much power that at his disposal, he still contains his old memories and his new ones through his previous lives. And yeah. So, but he did one thing. And so, yeah, he walks in. And he says, well, that curse won't be lifted. Of course, that's what he's, like, planning to do. So, but Meliodas, or actually, Thanos walks in and tells him that, don't worry, I'm going to tell you something. I know that I'm still your brother, but this is what I had to say. Think about me as your uncle. Oh. As Meliodas is like, what do you mean? Well, who's a big, you know, that like watches all over? Yeah, as it dawns on him. So, yeah, I don't mind removing curses. As he removes or actually he took away the curse of Meliodas and Elizabeth. So, and Elizabeth was there, and she couldn't believe her eyes of when it showed us 7 deadly sins. That. As, yeah. As he basically as he turns and looks at Elizabeth and said to her that she's a really good daughter. Or you're a really good daughter. Okay? Or granddaughter, should I say. As she couldn't believe that her own, like, so, yeah. So he basically, his presence, or the entire kingdom couldn't believe that it was, is like, so they all had that face of couldn't believe that their, like, holy night is a literal, I don't know, everything. So, yeah. Now, no, guys. I hope that you all had fun playing this little game. As he, of course, she couldn't believe that her own boyfriend is a literal gun. So, yeah. So, yeah. So he flies up to his eye level because he was way taller than a giant, even a titan. Titan. So, yeah. He's bigger than her and the Demon King. And put together. That's how tall he is. As he looked at Gilthunder and told him that about the truth about his father. As he released him from, as they see Gilthunder's father's intact. So, yeah. As he does like such thing. So, yeah. As only, or actually Gulthur remembers that he or his creator or creator, that he couldn't imagine, or actually he told Gother that I'm not as it seems like. As Gother and everybody was surprised. Yeah. Basically, and for her, she didn't like that, and like sayings to him. So, as he teleports away, I have one thing to do. As the king says, what do you want to do? Well, you know that 16 years ago one? Yeah. It's been destroyed, but as he teleports to there, as he uses his hand, and the entire city came right back. Like, yeah, but it's not in ruins, like fully built, like back to a way it was 32 years ago. Or like, it's so confusing. So, yeah. And the Cinnabord or whatever, or Merlin, and actually says, huh, this is Gun's true power. Yeah. As he flies back, as he says, huh, something's missing. As he sat down, oh, as they're like, what's missing? It's because I know that I know everything, space time, everything, but think or they're like having grudges against you is like, well, so he went into the seal himself, or like, clone of him, and told him that, or told them that he or actually it was a clone of him telling Zarathos that your or all of you are seems pretty helpful. Okay? I know that you have a grudge against Meliodas. As Zarathos noticed something's different about him. Than usually. So, became a. How will I put this without. Okay? Basically, none, hun, and of everything. That was my last name. Chaos. And hell knows everything. As when Zartras and everybody couldn't believe that he's not goddess, but of everything. Zartras went and asked him, how did, about me and he says, how did you obtain unholy powers? As he takes a breather and he says, because I already had these powers before. In my way, Zeldris, as your grandfather, or should I say grandpa, or, yeah, uncle, or let's just say grandpa. I'm very proud of you. And yes, I already met your lover. As he remembers, as he couldn't believe that someone that has all the unholy powers. So, yeah. So he basically used a power of seal thing, breaks the seal, and all that stuff. So, yeah. He basically became then time skip to they couldn't believe that even, of course, actually during the Iron Giants arc thing, Gothar's armor on the creature, he says, hey Bon, there's something valuable in him. We might get it out. What do you mean? Well, no, sir. Is there any chance there's a seed thing? You know what I mean. Yeah, it's in there. Let's pull that out and convert him back into a human form. As he's dodging the attacks. And take away. As he takes the demon things out of Dale's body thing. He basically crushed it, and he does so he gave it to them. So yeah. So and he tells, or actually Bond's can't believe. So all that stuff, yeah, it's craziness. You know how crazy it is? So now, him against his own daughter. Yeah, her. Demon King and her were basically like brother and sister. But he's the father to all of them. So, yeah. Huh. Well, and the four archangels almost like showed up. Like him, or no, not him. Let's say, yeah. So that was four archangels, and they were basically pretty powerful. But he's like, huh, no keeping secrets from, guys anymore. As he became back to his original form, as they're all in shock because of that. The four archangels, because they couldn't believe that. Where is he? Where is he? So that was 1, 2, 3, and then the one with a hoodie over her head, I think, was 4. They couldn't even Giannis couldn't believe that. So yeah. So now, and he did use his powers to, or actually he put his own curse on Elizabeth. So it's not like Endless getting killed endlessly, but she can come right back, even stronger. Plus, she stays the same, like Meliodas, but she keeps her emotions. So yeah, that's all said and done. This is the end of the video. Please leave a like, share, subscribe, and post that notifications. Hit that little bell.